Just a short break, guys. Welcome back. It's been fun. Just sitting there watching some of the other games coming to a close. Fiasco, Team Slomoh, next up on our jacket here. McCormick with me, Proper Casts. So we apologize for the lengthy delay there, but we were waiting for our second match. One of the teams was still finishing up a game in the background that did go to 5 games. So that is why we were here, and we are now joined by I think that's LeBron James.
Might be. I think my legacy is a little bit more pristine, honestly. But hey,
Sure.
yeah, I'm just happy to be here. Hey guys, LeBron James here to cast some Call of Duty.
I don't think you could ever live up to Daddy LeBron, but that's okay. I will ride LeBron until the sunset. That being said, we've got a brand new best of 5 theory for us as we continue our journey into what has been a pretty fun stage of groups so far. Fiasco, Slomoh, they are also in another group with the team that actually just took down the Team Slomoh roster in 5 maps. This is basically, I would say, at least in my opinion, probably the group of death. Andy, I don't know if you'd be as vicarious as to say that.
Yeah, oh, definitely. I mean, when we start talking about a lot of these different groups, you can see it right there. Group F, Team Slomoh, unfortunately lost their opening matchup versus Team Priestley. A band full of Canadians up there for Team Priestley. But, hey, honestly speaking, it's not out of the realm of possibility. I will say that much. Again, as you say, this very much so could be the group of death as Team Fiasco. All returning to St. Edward's individuals that played together once or twice before. So that thing to keep in mind is that this Group F honestly could be a toss-up who might come out on top.
Yeah, I think the talk of the town here is going to be Team Fiasco coming into this a bit cold. That's the kind of thing that sucks about a 3-team group, because you sit out for the first match while the other 2 teams are playing, especially if it goes to 5, and then you're waiting even longer. And for people who haven't touched the game since probably about playoffs, or at least touched a controller since playoffs, I'm sure that the warm-up period's not going to be too well adjusted to. Fiasco, Reality, Combat, and Vanity, basically St. Edward's 2.0. That is going to be the roster going up against Team Slomoh. But I think when we talk about this roster, the first names that I am kind of immediately pointed to, at least, is a Reality and Vanity.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Reality Vanity, for 2 years in a row, they were able to find themselves competing on land. Funnily enough, unfortunate to say that they were not able to push the brink to be able to make it there to Championship Sunday. But, I mean, nonetheless, I think that Reality and Vanity specifically, for one of those 2 players, they definitely bring the vibes for this squad. Fiasco and Combat, obviously, some time spent on St. Edward's Academy. One way, shape, or another, all 4 of these players have played together. A question obviously has to stand. How much have they been able to retain from that until now?
That is the talk of the town, the question that will be answered. But on the opposite side, Team Slomoh, we'll take a look at that roster real quick. We just saw them come off of a loss in a Game 5 versus Team Priestley. Slomoh, Click, Drewski, and B8. Each player respectively playing out of a different collegiate university. SIUE for Slomoh, UT Chattanooga, South Dakota for Drewski, and Iowa for B8. And this is kind of a rarity, I guess, throughout most of this tournament. Usually we see at least 2 or 3 people playing together, kind of staying together, trying to get at least some familiarity to run it back with some of the boys, having some fun. But this is truly like one of those teams that has come together as like a testament to, like, okay, this is like an alumni tournament. This isn't like just kind of play with what you're familiar with. This is just get creative, get fun, have some identity to it, and try to get out of groups with a couple of pals that you might have known from the collegiate time, which I think is a good embodiment of what this tournament is kind of supposed to be. Not to say that you can't play with your old friends or whatever, but like, just have some fun, man.
Shout out Ghosty playing with Noisy Fame.
And Pink.
And Pink, yeah. Just play with your homies.
Sure.
2 of those 4 players, by the way, the top 3 at Challenges Champs. One of them actually competed at Champs under one of Optic Dex's. But, nonetheless, yeah, look, this Slomoh, Click, Drewski, and Bait roster, I think that there's something to really kind of look at, albeit losing their opening matchup. This team's going to have some pace, man, and I think you're mostly looking at for Slomoh. Talk about a fall from grace, and that's not necessarily a slam. I just want to see this kid do well. I mean, all the way through Vanguard for the Cougars out of SIUE Esports. He was always a force to be reckoned with. Kind of, I wouldn't necessarily say fell off entirely throughout the entire of the Modern Warfare 2 year, but he didn't produce the same kind of charisma that we got out from Slomoh, from the Cougars SIUE brand that we got from Vanguard into the Modern Warfare 2 years. So this is a good place to be if you are Slomoh, if you want to continue to compete honestly side by side with Click, who we know always presses the issue. Very fast-paced player. Honestly needs this win here versus this entire Nate Fiasco roster.
It's going to be difficult too because, you know, at least with going to a game 5, the tiebreaker might be a little bit more lenient in their favor. But again, that also does have to kind of stand on not only them being able to walk away with a win here, but if they beat this Team Fiasco roster, then that Team Fiasco roster would have to beat Team Priestley in the next matchup for them to even have a chance to get out of pools. Because again, 8 groups, only 1 team can make it out. So that is what our bracket is going to be shaped up to later on today. So right now, basically feels like a must win for either of these 2 teams, but for Team Slomoh, that pressure is just that much more exemplified. We'll take a look at our map set here, though. Map 1, we'll start out with the Fortress. Hardpoint will go to an embassy, search and destroy for map 2, and then a triple dose of that oh-so scrumptious hotel towards the back end of the series.
Gotta love me a good Hotel Tostada, man. It's just fantastic. Honestly, we go to the distance, we have a triple dose of hotel. It would be very Modern Warfare 2, let's just put it that way. Fortress Hardpoint to start things off. This is actually the map number 4 that we got in our opening matchup. Not saying that we're going to get the same outcome of what we got in between Team Grandly versus Team Diff, but honestly might. It is a map riddled of SMGs and timings. That if the SMGs can constantly lurk in and around maps, in and around from art and munitions, be a really tough time for your ARs to try to continuously get in positions to be able to open up the floodgates to be able to win out a lot of these different money rotations, but it's all different speculation. This is a good battleground for these 2 teams to kind of feel out how they stack up against each other.
It'll be a fun one. It'll be nice to kind of get that mixy little map 1. Use the keyword there, and to kind of kick up the series though. And that's kind of always what I've liked about this map specifically being the starting point of a series throughout all of the Modern Warfare 2 year. Haven't really talked about it towards the latter half of this season because it really wasn't used too much to break the ice. But when it is an icebreaker in a series where we're trying to kind of, I guess the best word to use here is relearn what the actual players in the series are going to be able to bring forward. I think that's going to give us a good standpoint on the series. So I see that you've lost the glasses now. Hello, beautiful to see your nice tan brown eyes.
And brown eyes.
Well, it's basically the same color.
Is that the color of my eyes? Because I
think so. I mean, it looks like it through the camera. I don't remember what they look like. Maybe I'll have to gaze into them once again when we get to see each other in person again. Fortress Hardpoint, map 1.
You good? You hit the regame?
Yeah. No, yeah.
All right. Oh man. Let this happen, honestly. Shout out Jaybird and Son of Paint for bringing this duo back together. Honestly, there was like the last time we casted was like a Berlin search and destroy. I think like
had to have been.
Oh man. Enough dwelling on the past. Let's take a look at the current Team Fiasco going up against Team Slomoh. I mean, starting off on the favorite side of the map doesn't really mean much. If anything, with Slomoh just opens up, finds 2, and he's already flying through munitions.
Combat 1 HP will survive though. Over by P1, Team Slomoh have set themselves up shop. About 30 seconds left here to get for either of these 2 teams, but right now it's all red, who've got themselves nice and cozy in the hard point. 1 and 2, this could be Fiasco in reality making their way forward, but as both of those players will now fall. Combat, the last one to survive, over by the Gallows side of things. Click will be trying to push his way out the door. Issue might be pressed gunfight going to be 1. Team Slomoh probably going to get this rotation over to P2 as well.
Yep. Looking likely. 8 up top. Still alive. Hello? Vanity? All right. 4 dead. We're seeing Slomoh's favor. Up on a combined 9 spree as well. But picks up a Vaznev off the ground. Crispy shots, but reality will have none of it. The cruise missile will not be earned, but the rotation over towards New surely will.
Vanity, get himself on the board here. Start to make his way forward, but Slomoh, a good trade. Hops back over towards the left side. Challenges out. Oh, no, towards open. Drop shot good. Combat the next one there, but the last one alive here. That's going to be close over towards the hill. Another round of challenges out from Team Fiasco, though. This time, it's going to be led by Reality and Vanity. Fiasco there looking to challenge out as well. B8 The tack in hand, trying to look over this Gallows side statue. Reality on the left side. Challenge will get cut down swiftly. 20 seconds left here. Team Fiasco still yet to get on the board as another 3 kills go the way of B8. 4 in a row for him. He's up to 9-1.
Casual. 9-1. 7-2 for Slomoh. And it's just a continuation of the pressure of what we got off of P1. I mean, the pressure is just so much. And Team Fiasco have yet to find a single second worth of hardpoint time, and it just might come now inside of P3. The spawns are favorable for SCUE's pass, and honestly speaking, they need to try to lock this down for a full 16.
Well, they get their first 10 seconds of uncontested time, but will there be a good break through the front here is the question on everyone's mind. Slomoh, unfortunately, though, will get cut down from the back. Last player alive is Slomoh, actually in towards middle map. He's in towards the bottom of tools at the moment. Vanity looking for the challenge up the staircase. Hipfire shots are going to be good and able to completely snap on towards it. This could be basically a full 60 seconds here for Team Fiasco if they're able to hold basically, I'd say, about one more good full hit from Team Slomoh, because they're going to start to set themselves up back over by Art. Spawn starting to flip out, though. This might be a good thing for Team Fiasco, though. If Team Slomoh wanted to go ahead and challenge for the back 20 seconds of time here, basically you can start the P3 spawn trap, and that might just get you an opportunity to really start getting your way back into this one.
And nobody's inside of P1 trucks. I mean, Combat's too late to try to pick things up. He's already pushed up so far forward that B8's going to be able to also join him on the opposite side of the map. That's going to force Team Fiasco to actually have a couple players spawn out. Pinstripe goes the kill feed. Team Slomoh going to be able to collect themselves some scrap time, and now they're on the better side of the map. What was starting to look pretty darn skippy for Team Fiasco off of P3 has turned slightly disastrous now that Team Slomoh are inside the current hardpoint and have top rails control. Yeah,
Vanity was in a good spot, but Click forced him to tail and turn hide. And now as he picks up that second kill, he's up to 4 in a row. Fiasco will be challenging down from below, but Click will go ahead and chase out towards the top of the open. So now, as Team Slomoh has gotten themselves in firm control inside of bottom art, they've got P4 locked down. And Click can start to make his way out towards the middle of the map. They've only got one player challenging from that left side over by Gallows. It's going to be Fiasco. Time continuing to bleed uncontested for the moment. And as Team Slomoh are back inside, spawns are going to be close, and Fiasco will be here for one last contestation.
10 seconds are all you're realistically fighting over. And if you are Team Fiasco, I mean, you just got to chalk it. You got to try to get yourself inside of the stables, try to get somebody inside of top maps, and try to cut down through the middle of the map. Reality is actually going to be gifted a pretty darn good spawn, but they did lose Fiasco inside of the stable side. So are they going to be aware that that's going to force Slomoh to actually spawn inside P3? Well, they should be aware of it now, considering that he's inside the hard point, but it's all just a little bit of a bait across the map as Drewski just comes alive over by the Gallows side, cleans up a handful of more players, and now Team Fiasco might be stuck in a little bit of a spawn trap.
And I like how they took that extra 5-10 seconds, make sure that their backsides were clear. They could force everybody's attention back over towards the P3 spawn, and this is going to allow that trap now to set in here for Team Slomoh. Everybody, you can see those blue arrows spawning on that right side of the mini-map. You have full control of the hill now, and as long as you don't get too aggressive and push up into the spawn side of where Fiasco are at the moment, you're going to be able to hold this down not only on P5, but over to P1 as well.
Dude, someone trade this man. 16-7. He was down to like 10 HP. Thank you, Combat, for finally clearing maps. And again, we're just down to 10 seconds at the end of the first set of hardpoints. And well, what I was saying is not going to be looking like the last time we were on Fortune's hardpoint, albeit about like 50 minutes ago. It's starting to look a little bit more disastrous. 130-point lead for Team Slomoh. I mean, Team Fiasco need to have coming of an age story, if you ask me here, Corn, because it is just not looking too good.
Well, at least they really get a touch on P1 this time. You know, it was a 90-0 lead here from Team Slomoh early on. Now spawns are going to flip out just a touch, though. Reality and Vanity will pair for 2. This is going to allow Slomoh, though, to start making his way up as they were trying to go ahead, make sure they had space on the map cleared out. 30 seconds left in this hill. Team Fiasco now pushing their way back over towards the hill, but they are getting overwhelmed by numbers. Drewski takes a teammate down in the process. Bait was able to find one, but Reality on the cross should be able to snap to the second and will. Beautiful shots there out of the attack are going to be good to clean things up. With 15 seconds left, it's going to be all about the Gallows pushover back by P2. Team Fiasco have everybody pushed up in the exact spots they need to. They're influencing the spawn so deliciously.
Combat just a little bit too late. I mean, there was just nobody in position to maybe try to cut down through the middle of the map because Team Fiasco were just so far focused on trying to get themselves, about like 5 seconds over inside P1. Fiasco inside of munitions, gets gunned. He lost combat quite a few moments ago inside a top single that allowed Team Slomoh just to flood all the way through the double arches. The Semtex is good from Slomoh's back pocket. Vanity trying to at least bring his team back into it. You need this break yesterday.
But the problem is you're also going to have Slomoh on the opposite side of the map, because if you take too long, if you are Team Fiasco to push into this hill here, you're going to have a hit from the opposite side that's going to force a pinch on you. Now it's across the 200-point mark. You're at the double century point if you are Team Slomoh. And really all this is going to do here for Team Fiasco is just alleviate that pressure a bit more, as you can maybe start to think about a map 2 hit.
Oh. 112, by the way. 53. Team Slomoh are going to put themselves within striking distance, trying to close things out. And, well, Alex, they are trying to turn scrap into initial, and they are looking pretty darn good to be able to find success in doing just that. Click over by the big gate. Got to be able to clean up one. That should be the kill required to be able to get the initial time here at 3.
Well, it's a pickup team out of Team Slomoh, but with 20 seconds left in a 53-point opposition, it's looking quite tasteful early on here inside of this best-of-5 series to give themselves their way forward. Click on 5 in a row. Now makes it number 6. Everybody continuing to fall, and with 10 seconds left here, it's all but over.
Oh, it's GG's, bro. Go next. Load up, search, destroy. Bring me to Embassy. Click on a 7th spree, the final dagger into the backs of Team Fiasco. Golly. As soon as we loaded into this Fortress Hardpoint, it is over. I mean, at least it wasn't a full 200 points, but it was pretty damn close.
I feel bad. You know, before this started up, you know, Andy and I were talking. I was like, you know, at least this one should be decently close. It should be closer than what we had in our first best of 5 series.
I shut it down immediately.
He did shut me down. he shut me down like I was asking him on a first date. And I was a bit sad at first, but you know what? It's okay. Because now we get to a point where I realized that it was my fault. I messed up. And yeah, the same outcome. Andy's right. I was wrong.
Excuse.
Yeah, wow.
Like, it's just one of those things, again, like, I hate to call a spade here, and albeit, again, Team Fiasco obviously spending time, whether it's in and out of the facility there for the Hilltoppers of St. Edward's University, doesn't necessarily mean that your gun skill will be able to surmount to the power that is Team freaking Slomoh, dude. I mean, look, this, I hate to continuously say it, but this is what it is. It's an alumni tournament. These are all essentially glorified 8s lobbies. You're playing with your friends. You're trying to be able to create these powerhouse rosters. And I think Team Slomoh honestly have that, you know, right beside Team Priestley along in this group itself. But it really does say something when you get to see Click and Slomoh just manipulate the map like Fortress that allows bait to constantly go unnoticed from a lot of these different angles of opportunity. And every single time that Team Fiasco had themselves an inch to maybe try to get themselves some hardpoint time, it was all down to about like 10 seconds. The reason being is because Team Slomoh always having players around these very annoying positions on the map, inside of munitions, inside of art, around maps. ARs were always in these very powerful positions, and Team Fiasco were really prepared to be able to take those gunfights from those positions that were being held.
You know, I guess the storyline we set up going into this map was like, you know, if Team Slomoh wants to make it out of groups and into bracket play, you know, Team Fiasco, they're going to have to beat them, and then Team Fiasco is going to have to go in and beat Team Priestley. And the only way I can see a world of like a tiebreaker working out in Team Slomoh's favor is if somehow, some way, we get to a point where they 3-0 Team Fiasco, and Team Fiasco is able to take like maybe like an S&D or something like that off of Team Priestley. And then somehow like the map count tiebreaker ends up going in Team Slomoh's favor. But like they just need to take care of business here. They need to go into the search and destroy, win that, and then the control, just sweep all these out of the water, and then just hope and pray to God that like Team Fiasco is just able to take a map off of Team Priestley. Because if that happens, that's realistically probably your best and only shot of being able to make it out of groups. And that's even if we go to map count tiebreakers and it's not just head to head.
Yeah, you were spinning a web here, brother. I don't know if it has a lot of continuity to it, but
no, it definitely does. But it's all over the place.
Look, Team Fiasco, Team Fiasco, honestly could force a map 5. The biggest issue is that they're gonna have to try to steal a respawn off of Team Slomoh along the way. I think that their search and destroy is gonna have to be where they kind of really lean on it. I mean, you bring yourself all the way back throughout the entirety of the regular season. Shoot, even through playoffs as well for St. Edward's. A lot of that, honestly speaking, was through their search and destroy prowess, and a lot of that, and I hate to really put a target on one's back. I mean, reality needs to be that guy, pal. Like, his sniper rifle needs to be the truth coming to this embassy search and destroy. He needs to be able to try to find these opening picks and engagements, opening up a lot of these lanes, so that way the rest of his team can try to assault that bomb site, get that bomb planted, if not try to keep numbers in your favor. Because if there's going to be one continuation that we're going to have, no matter the two teams that we're going to be looking at, Team A or Team B might be faster than the other one. And going into the search and destroy, one of those teams that is faster will probably try to run you down. It just comes down to those very simplistic adaptations. Stuns, nades need to be on point. Information needs to be gathered. You have to try to find these picks to try to slow up the opposition for you not only to be able to take rounds, but it's really the only way that I could see Team Fiasco trying to stay alive in this series. It has to start here in the map number 2.
Absolutely does. And I mean, if there's any consolation here, you know, this Team Slomoh roster, they did just play this in a Game 5 that they ended up losing to Team Priestley. They had a 4-1 lead that they unfortunately kind of dropped to the wayside. And then it was a 6-4 win for Team Priestley in that map. There was a lot of, it seemed like maybe it was petty trash talk, or maybe some animosity. I'm not sure what the right word to use there is, but there were a couple of upset people after that fourth map and going into that search and destroy, and the results we got out of it were a pretty fascinating, sparks flying search and destroy effort out of each team. But in the end, you know, Team Slomoh, after they got to those 4 rounds, it just kind of fell off and they fell apart almost. Seemed like they got stagnant of what they wanted to do on the map. A couple of those gunfights that they were winning early on just weren't there. Those aggressive challenges that the other team was throwing just kind of fell apart. So if Team Slomoh is not able to make quick adjustments like they weren't able to do in the previous search and destroy effort and outing that they had in the previous series, that at least could allow Team Fiasco to kind of weasel their way through the door and maybe slip the crack to get at least a win on the board in the series. Regardless, it's still going to take not everything that you said combined plus that and more out of Team Fiasco, and maybe just being able to win some gunfights, maybe.
Wouldn't hurt.
That would be the key to success, although it's quite a long list of herbs and spices.
Laundry list is long. It's been spun up. Are you going to be prepared for it? A B hit off the rip. Those nades were learned quite literally a week after the game came out, and Click says, yep, thank you very much. I'll go ahead and press the issue. I'll fight you, boy.
Does that feel very similar at all to what we saw to Red Chase on the LSCLO earlier in the search and destroy? Because that feels almost picture perfect to me. And, well, if he gets a third one here, that would just be so silly. Vanity, Sniper, challenges, gets him Click weak. Woohoo! But it's bait there for a trade. Sorry,
just to correct myself. I mean, Vanity, Reality, either one of them two can snipe. And Vanity, you know, albeit vibes, guy is an absolute riot. No matter how many times I was like CCL finals 2 years in a row, saw him at champs as well. That guy is just absolutely vibey. But
it makes you smile when you see him.
He really does. Like, the room is never dim.
Yeah.
When Vanity is around, that is for sure. But only one was able to find a kill in that previous round, just off of some pretty easy opening engagements, all off of the set nades coming through from Team Slomoh. Sniper across the mid lane, not going to be able to garner much of anything besides information, but now you know this is a B hit for sure.
Yeah, you would have hoped to hit on that, but as Fiasco is able to challenge around the corner, Click will fall. Drewski there for a quick trade, though. 3 versus 3. 20 seconds off the clock. Reality, though, there to put Team Fiasco back on top. So the life advantage now favors the team on defense. Offense, unfortunately, wasn't able to get over towards that B site. However, at least for now, there is a light at the end of the tunnel if you are Team Fiasco.
A bomb is patty caked in a very tough spot. Combat doesn't have that silence, so he's got to try to slow roll this. Reality's not necessarily watching the cross, so bait crosses for free. He really doing that position inside the stairwell. That's awkward. Juice is going to be able to find that kill. Now a 2v2.
Oh, snipe shot. Do you challenge out to the left side window? Not able to connect. Vanity thought he had him, but as Bait's able to get up the ladder, what quickly was the 3 versus 2 switches to a 2v1 in the opposite hand. Slomoh now the advantage. Reality 1 versus 2. 40 seconds left here now to go ahead and challenge back on over towards it. Bait the first one. Drewski the second. Headshot multiplier goes crazy. Puts him in the dirt. Potty shots to go along with it. Oh my god, eyes rolled to the back of the head. GG. Go next. And some bags to go along with it. What kind of tea do you think he's brewing?
Oh, with like lemon herb ginger tea. You know, like, yeah. I mostly say that because that's the tea that I'm drinking right now, but...
That might be realities here in a second.
I mean, like, look, dude, like, Drewski, the ego chow up top of admin, prevented with a sniper, top servers, that's one thing, because at least you had the help from Bait that was climbing the ladder via Dead Silence, but the second one is just crazy. Like whatever, man. It's map number 2. You already had the 1-round lead. You have the 1-map lead. But I don't want to see that type of nonsense ever again. You heard?
Okay.
That was egregious.
He called on reality to be the difference maker here in map 2, at least to give him a kickstart. And what would be the early round shootouts. Drewski, though, will open with a double. Slomoh there for a nice trade over the top. Helps out his teammate. Now Vanity's left alive in a 1 versus 3. That took about all of 10 seconds on a map that you had to pretty much sprint to get into a gunfight on. So, yeah, good luck.
And fun will not be had. At least not for Team Fiasco. And I mean, you said it beautifully, my friend. It takes a lot for 3 players to die that quickly, not via nades on a map like Embassy Search and Destroy. Everybody just sprints across the tennis court side, forgot their rackets at home, thought they were playing pickleball, but they all found death. So
yeah, they stepped in the kitchen.
That's tough. Got cooked.
That's a foul on the play there. Can't do that. Too many cooks in the kitchen type beat. I was going to say something else. Sniper out. Vanity looking for a cross. Doesn't spot anything out, but just a slow hit there from Team Slomoh actually allows them to jump all the way across over to B. Pretty much unbeknownst to anybody on the Fiasco side of things. Obviously, Fiasco, who's on the staircase of orange, is going to wait for 1 to push in, but Drewski has now found himself a quick line flank. Doesn't get the good timing there on Fiasco, so is traded out 3 versus 3, but the bomb has gone down with 40 seconds left. And
I mean, that just forced Click to play in a very tough position. He has to really rely on Slomoh to try to press the issue across the bridge. Fiasco, though, that silence included. Vanity's going to be able to clean up at least 1. Are they going to expect for Slomoh to be in this position? Bottom server. 23 seconds remains on the bomb. Finds first.
I mean, he read it. Second one contested around the right side. Is going to be able to snap onto it. Oh, no, Vanity, please don't lose this. Okay, pulls out the knife. Secures it with the pistol. I was going to say you are at no liberty to go put your teabag on him again.
Not enough time. Not enough time.
Is he going to do it anyways?
Oh, that.
I thought it was going to be a slow one there.
Kind of gut him.
Slow roast like a chicken.
Hey, college is out, but he's not done dissecting quite yet. The science class is going brazy in the offseason. Slomoh had an extended mag. If extended mags were allowed in competitive settings, he probably walks away with that 3rd kill as well. This kid's centering is absolutely absurd. Drewski up to 6-2, by the way. Combat still looking for his first. He's the bomb carrier, so he gets a nice little asterisk on the side. Middle of the map will be consumed for Team Slomoh as Team Fiasco waiting for that pick before they choose what bomb site to go to.
How about the slowest round of S&D we've had so far? Which I won't complain
because
for
sprinting over towards B didn't work the last time, so.
Angel numbers in the kill feed for Team Fiasco down the board. They will take off Vanity. That's a first blood for Team Slomoh here. Will pretty much rewrite history as it did the last time on defense. Nobody wanting to make their way up the map just yet. Nobody really looking to make that aggressive move forward. But pretty much knowing that all of B is locked down, it probably is going to be an A hit here, at least an attempt at it. Slomoh's able to find a second one here in the round. That opens the door up for Team Slomoh on defense just to wrap back over towards A, and the bomb may be able to find its way down as Reality's able to at least pick up a second.
Yeah, big movements out of Reality. And Click not expecting for the second player to be over by Van Strewski. What the timing is that? To combine with Bait, be able to find the kills required. What was being drawn up off of Reality's 2-piece completely crumbles at the bits. Turn the headset down, brother. That's some insane timing.
You know, it's classy. It's respectable to Slomoh there. Respectably out of Drewski, I should say, you know? Just comes out the door, gets a little hip fire, and instead of going for the BM after the kill, you know?
3 minutes of hill time, 7-2 through 5 rounds of the search and destroy casual.
Hippie out of him. No, yep. Don't know watch still for combat. Enough said. Fiasco shots at range. As attack in hand, looking for a cross out of Click and Co. As they got themselves over on the B side. Drewski's able to find one in the middle of the map. Vanity there will at least cut him down, but damage has already been done. Push has already been made forward, and reality is now cut down. 3 versus 2 yet again. Team Slomoh the advantage.
Valentine's Day was quite a long time ago, but shout out reality for at least trying to win that initial gunfight instead of refocusing on the guy that was up close. But big first kill for Combat. Gets off the donut over towards the breadstick. Vanity for the flank with a sub in hand. Slomoh's playing the bomb site though. Over from the side. 1v1 Slomoh!
Put him down like a dog. Like a sick dog.
Jesus, man.
Vicious at that. Yeah, you know, you think Combat has it won there. Maybe just a touch at the end there. That high shot that he got. Headshot multiplier might have just saved him in that gunfight. But pretty there out of Slomoh. Clinical, if you will. Instead of there being an even standstill 3-3, you now give yourselves about a round of buffer room to work with. 4-2 advantage Team Slomoh, one step closer to being able to put this search and destroy out of reach. Combat, though, was able to at least get himself on the board that last round. I think nerves might have been able to work into that final gunfight going the way of Slomoh. 15 seconds off the board, only a few shots to ring out. About the tail of the round so far.
I mean, Slomoh is moving with a certain bit of pace. Drewski off the car explosion. Slomoh up top. I mean, the Senator was great, but Vanity had the better weapon to be able to take that gunfight 2v2. I'm still in the hands of Vanity. Fiasco's top bridge. Going to be able to get a free one on a bait. Now 2v1.
For a second there, he's just going to wait for him to turn around so he can give him a fair gunfight. The gentleman's play. And the 1 versus 2. You see Vanity crept up onto the A site. Fiasco trying to play in tandem behind him. 30 seconds left here. They're waiting for Drewski to hop out the doorway. As dead silence is popped, is he going to be able to get good timing? Vanity laying down, hops back away. 40 seconds, plenty of time to work with.
Cracks open the door, though. Drewski. Oh, the movement is insane, but I mean, Fiasco is just laying behind the truck. That silence, though, muffled the footsteps. It's about to run out. Like 2 ships in the night, they pass each other. Fiasco, turn around, man.
Well, it's like Fiasco, you want him to turn around, but you also want Drewski to turn around at the same time, because I think Fiasco is now going to be able to get the read on it and will just dive all the way across, and that can't just play time. So with 15 seconds left, Drewski made the right play. Unfortunately, Fiasco is there, though. Stun going to get checked out around the corner. Fiasco going to challenge. I thought maybe it was just a bit too aggressive there at first. However, is Drewski on the bomb. Fiasco's able to walk away with the gunfight win. I'm just glad he didn't pull a Doug Sensor Martin.
Okay.
I'm sorry, dude. Every time there's a broadcast, I just find a way to break into it, bro.
if we were gonna get into a fortune search destroy, I was actually keeping that in the backpack. I'm not gonna lie. Shout out Doug, man. Ending 4 now for Drewski. 1 round is the difference maker. Gosh, remember when Nate Fiasco played on UTD with Justin Pistachio? What happened?
Oh my lord.
Justin. Never mind. Sorry. Speaking of strays, Vanity. Sniper watching the mid lane. Sees 2 jump across. Cannot get the centering.
Criminal.
Retrained. Now a 1v4 for Combat.
Criminal that first one didn't connect for a kill, especially with the great tracking and tracing that he had with it. Click will get cut down from behind. Combat will find his second kill of this search and destroy here. But I thought that second kill that he had lined up for him with the sniper absolutely was going to be able to connect. Somehow, some way, though, the flinch comes through. Just misses to the left of him. Drewski tries to get close there.
That's illegal. Red card. You'll see him like...
Gotta win him.
I mean, if he ends up finding that kill with the sniper, that's one thing, but then has the Seattle Surge Vaznev in his back pocket and just ego chows the living breaks off of Combat.
It's the pretty pink put down.
Triple pause, by the way. 12-4 for Drewski. What turned from 3 minutes of OBJ time into a Herculean search and destroy out of Drewski. Now has Slomoh up on map point.
Challenge across. Top hill held down. anticipate we'll be able to find one, but he doesn't realize the Fiasco's behind him. I thought maybe those shots going sour for a moment would have turned around and maybe come back to bite him in the butt, but his combat falls. Team Slomoh will take the search and destroy 6-3 to be able to find themselves a 2-0 lead in this best-of-5 series, one step closer to being able to shut the door in the face of Team Fiasco. Pretty much put them out of contention inside of this group before their play even got started. Of course, they have yet to play against Team Priestley, but if anything has been told about how this series has gone so far and how close it was with Team Priestley and Team Slomoh, unless there's a certain kryptonite and je ne sais quoi that Team Fiasco have left in them. Looking like it's over.
It's not looking too good, man. I mean, like, look, if you're Team Slomoh, you know what kind of sucks is that, like, you want to be able to 3-0 Team Fiasco, but then you also want to become like their biggest fans because you also need them to be able to beat Team Priestley. You want to make the double elimination bracket. I don't know, man. Is Mercury in retrograde or the planets align? I'm not too sure, bro. But like, it says a lot. Take a walk. Good lord. You really do feel like a lot of these rounds could have gone entirely different. I mean, that two-piece out from reality was one thing. Again, Drewski was just about ego-challenging everything this side of the Mississippi anyway. But, I mean, nonetheless, you feel like a lot of these different rounds would have been better for Team Fiasco. For one, if they were able to trade Slomoh a little bit earlier. For two, if they didn't just expend a handful of their rounds just trying to think that full sprinting across the tennis court was going to be a wise idea. Much less in your opening round, not having the trophy systems just to get belittled by nades.
Yeah.
But we like this game's been out for a while. We didn't stop playing this game like a year ago at this point. Like, come on now. These are all things you should be more than aware of. I mean, fair play coming out from Team Fiasco to be able to clutch up a handful of these rounds. Reality really gave himself a really good edge to try to clutch things up for Team Fiasco a handful of times, but Drewski will not be denied. Again, 3 minutes of OBJ time turned into some insane ego challenge that he just somehow walks away with. Really good map out of here for our Team Slomoh.
Would this game have looked any different if we played on, say, Cold War, Vanguard, or any other game? Well, I guess that is something to be left up in the air to chalk up to. And a chin wiggle after the series has gone and passed. But again, from start to finish, Team Slomoh looked to be the better roster here inside of the series. Combat had a few good moments, also a few dull moments. Had that donut watch for a good portion of that game, but really across the board, everybody else was kind of keeping an even pace on par with mediocrity from the rest of Team Fiasco. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but it's just kind of how the match kind of meandered on through a certain measure. So Team Slomoh 2-0 lead inside of this best-of-5 series, one step closer to at least being able to put the fate in the hands of Team Fiasco to take a map off the board of, say, a Team Priestley later on. But I guess, you know, before we send it to a break, the last kind of conversational point we can talk about is just the fact of how stacked this individual group is, this group of three specifically. Like, if this was like a group A or group B where it had 4 teams, it might be a little easier to swallow, but this is definitely a tough pill to have to kind of take to the back of the throat if you are Fiasco, Slomoh, or Team Priestley, because there's 3 pretty good teams here in terms of you know, accolades and just overall player performance. So it sucks that we're gonna have to say goodbye to 2 of them, let alone even just 1.
Yeah, again, when you're looking at it from Team Slomoh's perspective, you took that Team Priestley all the way to a map number 5. You were unable to win said map number 5. Yep. And now you find yourself 2-0 up against Team Fiasco, who, again, as far as the eggs in the basket are concerned, you want to be able to beat them. You're wanting to go 1-1, but then you're also really hoping that Team Fiasco somehow, some way are able to do what you could not, and that's beat Team Priestley. So I don't know, man. Group death be like that.
Yeah, absolutely does. Well, we're going to step aside when we come back. Potential 3rd and final map. It's going to be our triple dosage of Hotel to kick things off. A Hotel Control. LOL. Still messing breaks up 5 years later here in CCL. What is Corville? With these Poppercast, we'll be back after a short break. Welcome back Back to the College COD Alumni $1,000 off-season tournament. I'm McCormiel with me, Proper Cast. A 2-0 lead for Team Slomoh over Team Fiasco leads us to a hotel control where Team Slomoh can obviously close the door here on what has been an unenthusiastic best-of-5 series, I guess is the nicest way to put things. We started off map 1 with a 250-53 victory in point of margin for Team Slomoh, and then in the search and destroy, the 6-3 Embassy pretty much showed no signs of life except for the first few rounds out of Team Fiasco. Ever since that point, that was pretty much Team Slomoh through and through. So, Click, Drewski, Slomoh, and Bait all looking to put things out of reach here and 3-0 this team as quickly as humanly possible. They want to give Team Fiasco at least an opportunity to take a map off of Team Priestley, which would, I mean, in some world, in some situation, probably give Team Slomoh at least an opportunity to get out of groups without it just being a head-to-head decider. But if Team Fiasco loses and Team Priestley is able to move on in a 3-0 fashion, that will without a doubt secure them the spot, and Team Slomoh as well as Team Fiasco will say goodbye to the Alumni tournament. Regardless, though, first 10 seconds off the clock, 30-30 to lives we go. On defense, Team Fiasco will start. What in
Click
the
is
hell?
feeling himself so much that he's using the Lockman AR. Neat. You know what's funny is that, like, towards the end of the Challengers year, I want to say more for EU than we got it from NA. There were a lot of players, specifically F. comes to mind, that was actually using a lot of the Lockman 5.56, and he's just got one in as well. And I mean, you lose out on some range when it comes to comparison. That thing is a bullet hose. You better hope that your centering is pristine. Doesn't seem too likely for Team Fiasco as they had the chalk. The B zone through the opening rip. Team Slomoh have only lost a single life, and now they're trying to flip the map. We'll find reality inside of Jules. Some more kills to speak of. Come on, Vanity, you gotta be able to get that kill, brother. A-zone looking pretty juicy right now.
Okay, so I guess everybody on Team Slomoh just decided that we're going to use either the Lockman SMG or the Lockman AR this map and say screw it to the Basnev and the TAC. And yeah, no, that's tippy for sure. B zone captured, A zone first tick of progress already starting out, and now as Team Fiasco are on the back end of things, it's already a 10 life advantage to the team on the offensive side. Player 2 at Slomoh challenging out over towards the left. Bait going to be looking towards Wine. The second one up to challenge. Lockman AR will absolutely wipe him across the floor, and that's everybody dead. Second tick of progress should be in here in just a moment. 12 lives remaining for Team Fiasco, and everybody's still continuing to fall to the wayside as Bait and the rest of the Team Slomoh boys continue to fry. No way he wins this.
No way. No way! Bait. Reality. You gotta find that trade, brother. That A zone is chalked. At least it would be if someone was on the zone, but you could just see that Team Slomoh at this point in time, they do not care to play the objective corn. They do not care to win this round by any other means than via the kills inside a hole. Fiasco's gonna find that trade. 22 plays up against 4. I've seen some wild things, but I don't think this is in the cards.
Yeah, the Lockman just might be the truth. Sub and AR. This is absolutely ridiculous. A wiping, a waxing, a horking, if you will. 21-0 in the lives, and Team Slomoh will win this offensive. And when I say handedly, I mean handedly.
Handedly, decisively, emphatically.
Communistically. I mean, one on the list, right?
Things being said. That's I mean, Bait's 11-1. Like what? 6-3, 6-1, 7-4.
That's pretty
Yeah, they didn't find a single kill. This is just do the same thing, forehead.
It's gonna Bait's gonna kill his teammate. Okay, cool. All right. Well.
Everything must die.
Artificial handicaps aside.
8 is still killing his teammates, bro. What am I watching right now?
He's out for blood. Combat off the site. Fiasco up top inside a bar. We'll be able to find the second. Drewski gonna go for the challenge. Dude, that thing melts. You still got Vanity alive. Over inside a bar. And in the harborage of P4. His dead silence is topped. He gets behind Bait. Oh, Lord. I thought maybe he was going to give an opportunity to get turned on there for a moment. Lives now advantage to the defensive team. And as B gets wiped off, A waxed as well. And now Slomoh going for the full Brazilian in towards the spawn side.
Oh, God. 10-1, dude. How many streaks do we got over here? Like, come on. All right. Good win, Fiasco. 2 for 2 trade. And just where you think that might garner some map control, you have to check every single corner. I mean, Team Fiasco realistically aren't even spotting with one another. It's going to force you to try to clear some space single-handedly. No trades to really speak of. Reality takes out Slomoh, but I mean, we're down to 26 seconds here, brother, and somebody's got to touch one of these zones.
Up to 11-5. Everybody's double digits. Here for Team Slomoh. 7 lives of separation. 17 seconds left in the round. Slomoh, another kill. Click another kill. Fiasco will fall. Reality, the last alive. Over on the zone. Attack. Kills 1. Slomoh, a trade. And his combat's still there. With just 5 seconds left. Team Fiasco finally might get a tick.
Pretty good for it. Cruise missile's gonna get called in. You gotta step off the zone from the splash damage over by the sidebar, but that first segment's looking pretty locked. Combat Vanity, they're both stacked on top of it. Reality will now join them, and I mean, if this isn't just the definition of playing with your food, Team Slomoh are more than okay to chalk the zone because you guessed it, they want to win it via kills.
Well, there's 10 of them still left. Bait will find his 14th. 17-9. 2 more full wipes for Team Slomoh to get through. Team Fiasco still an opportunity to get back over towards this B zone. Link starting to make its way through. Reality is going to be the one there. Combat having to work against Bait. Bait will just go ahead, slice and dice him, give him the old London showdown. And as he finds a third there, I think this one's just about over.
I mean, it's just a massacre. It's like there's blood spilled all over Greenberg Hotel. We were supposed to stay here for 3 nights, but it might have to get shut down early. My heavens.
Well, this does look like a 2020 quarantine right now.
Oh, throw in the white towel, man. This is just like, I got a lot of love for all of Team Fiasco. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's always so much fun to talk to all the St. Edwards guys. I mean, me and Nate always like jest back and forth, but like it's just, oh, Alex, it's just one of those things where like one team is just better than the other one. All right, Bait, how many teammates we're gonna kill off the rip? None? All right. I mean, I got to tip it for our observers, so at least maybe see if he does it. He did not.
They will sprint all the way across. Vanity will be the first one up to challenge. Vanity will be dead. Combat will also be dead. Reality also dead. And now Fiasco dead. Okay. Spawn side. Vanity dead. 8 dead. Click kills Combat. And now Reality dead. Okay. Dead! 6 in a row. Vanity, please trade. Thank you.
Oh, Slomoh? What is that? Not a Lockman. He's breaking the fun treaty.
Stealing the spotlight from you. He's like, I don't want in.
21-5, bro. He's on a 6-3. Honestly, at this point, like, they have like at least like 2, maybe 3 cruise missiles. I would love for them just to call them all in at the same time. 24 plays up against 18. We're down to 25 seconds. Finally, somebody will touch the zone because Team Fiasco have finally gotten the memo that, well, Team Slomoh just want to win it via the kills. The moment they touch the zone, they all come crawling out of their hidey holes. They all die.
And here comes 1. And we get 2. Well, no. But Drewski can find one with the Lockman yet again. I would love to see some knives come out and maybe just start running it down with a few knives, but they realized they needed to get on his own because there's only 25 seconds left here. So Combat top window, reliving his S&D days. Drewski will look for a challenge onto Fiasco. Will win it handedly. Bait there as well. And with that B zone coming to a full closure and an 11 to life advantage, another 60 seconds added to the clock and a trip over towards the restaurant to take the A side out for brunch.
Yeah, that's right, Slomoh. That's what you get for spawning in with Attack 56. Bring back out the Lockman. It's what the people want. It's what I want. I want to see more.
I want him
Ski inside the hole. Gonna try to push all the way through Chandelier, and albeit I think Reality got like what, like the first 3 bullets. Drewski will be up on a fine spree. Casual stuff coming through. Nobody wants him to touch the A zone because they just want to take them down via the kills. 5 up against 15. Come on, give me something, Fiasco.
Everybody with 20 is tippable. I'm not gonna lie. Like, this is such an even spread kill Best across the board for Team Slomoh. It's genuinely typical. 25 leads the way. Click finds one. Last alive. Vanity here. And for the final moments of this game in the last 23 seconds, I swear to God, if they let Vanity go untouched to get another round so they can go kill chase, I will lose it. Bait kills another teammate. Click is going to be in the back line. Who's going to hunt for the final kill? It's going to be Click. And finally, Team Fiasco will be put out of commission. And that should be their tourney hopes done and dusted. A 3-0 sweep in, I guess, a showboated fashion there for Team Sweep. Or Team Sweep. Well, I guess it is Team Sweep at this point. They will move to 1-1 inside of their pool and hope that Team Fiasco can take a map or maybe a kill off of Team Priestley. Sorry, that was toxic. My bad.
That was pretty not as toxic as you like literally asking for them just to swap to full knives. You're just like, yeah, just split it.
Oh no, that definitely was toxic. But then tell me that wouldn't have been comedy.
It wouldn't. That entire series was comedy, brother. I'll keep it a $150 with you. But like, I mean, I think it's just one of those things where like, it's the analysis you're gonna get is that a little bit of a skill diffy.
Yeah.
I mean, there was an argument, albeit the 30 seconds off the P3 that they got because the spawns were there. The 3 rounds in Search and Destroy, albeit because Team Slomoh were just ego challenging everything. Team Slomoh is playing with a purpose, man. And that purpose is brought to you by Lockman. Take up yours.
Sorry, I'm reading the match chat, and Slomoh goes, all right, well, had fun.
I just hope everybody has a great day.
Vanity goes, turns out, need a few more maps to get warm. I think you would have needed to maybe put yourselves in a microwave to get as warm as you needed to be. But that's neither here nor there.
That's not safe.
Felt like a hot pocket, maybe a bit cold in the middle, maybe a little warm around the edges. If warm at all.
Is it fully cooked? I don't know. I don't have a temperature gauge, but I'm gonna
stick my finger in there. All right, it's not all the way cooked.
Take a walk. Golly.
Bro, what do you mean? Are you supposed to just bite into a warm hot pocket? No.
Absolutely.
Hey, you stick your finger in it.
No pain, no gain. If you're not burning your mouth, are you honestly eating a hot pocket or pizza rolls? Probably not. Shout out Logan.
Not,
but
yeah. No, you gotta. If you're eating a pizza roll, you bite the corn and you blow into it.
That's some hidden pizza roll tech I was never aware of. I enjoy the burn. I need the pain. 23-9 out of Slomoh, by the way. Probably would have gotten to 30 if he didn't pull out the TAC 56. Let's be honest here. 25-7 for Bait. If we're including the 5 teammates that he also killed, he did drop a 30 bomb, about 3K damage. Cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, just like a children's picture book, pretty open and shut. Yeah, not really much analysis across the board to dive into. We'll take a look at our series scope one more time. 250-253 was map 1. 6-3 was map 2. And 3-0 was map 3. All for Team Slomoh. We take the series in hot 3-0 fashion. Broomsticks have been brought out. I'm sure they're a little upset at themselves for losing that 1-4 advantage that they had in that Search and Destroy against Team Priestley in that Game 5. Could be the difference maker of them being able to escape out of groups and unfortunately saying a unwelcomed brief exit to our College Con Alumni $1,000 off-season tournament. That being said, Andy, hopefully our next match is going to be able to provide at least a little bit more content, and I feel like it will. We've got Cartman and Papa Stens playing in our next PHQ 5.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
I need that, dude. I need that. Straight into my veins, man. I need it. But, I mean, like,
no.
What do you want me to say, man? Like, it's an alumni tournament. Everybody's out here having a good time. I can only imagine that even for the St. Edwards boys there, I mean, albeit getting absolutely slammed through the floorboards of all 3 maps, I'm sure that they're probably still having a good time. I'm sure that there's probably still a decent amount of laughs out there. I'm sure Nate Fiasco is probably thinking about how can I get my drive past 260, but nonetheless, it's been a fantastic event so far. I can only imagine. They still have one more match to be played. And again, if you are Team Slomoh, you're kind of rooting for them in a way. They kind of almost do the impossible to do what you couldn't and try to potentially take a series off of that Team Priestley.
Well, let's hope that we're not gone for another 40-ish minutes like we were the last time through. Hopefully this next best of 5 series can get started up so we can get a bit back on schedule here for our matches tonight. That being said, we're going to step aside when we come back. Best of 5 series, Papa Stents and Cartman, they're going to be on our main stage here in just a moment.